Need for Speed Heat is the latest in a long line of rubber-burning, neon-flashing, bass-pumping street racing sims that's out to prove just how cool it can look to hoon around like a total maniac during the day with no regard for the flashing lights of the law by night. But can its combination of nightlife racing and cop chases ever match the thrills of Hot Pursuit or the attitude of Underground? After 2016's average reboot complete with super cringy cutscenes,
Peace. Later.
Cool.
and 2018's Payback failing to blow up as the action blockbuster it aspired to be, the Need for Speed series has dipped back into the barrel and pulled out Heat, another street racing tale of hip young wannabes who battle against a corrupt police force by tearing up the roads of a fictional Miami lookalike Palm City. Starting out, you're able to choose your own character, who at least has a voice in the story, and the rest of the cast are made up of the usual cliched caricatures you'd expect to see floating around the backlot of a Fast and Furious film. And while it is nice to see some faces behind the badges that hassle you out on the roads, going with the corrupt cop angle feels like a lazy way of legitimizing your crew of dangerous drivers who, let's be honest, outside of this fantasy world would either be behind bars or wrapped around a lamppost.
Got a car?
Yes, sir.
Yes, officer!
Look, I know it's just a game, but I'm tired of racers glamorizing two-dimensional dickheads with a death wish. Give me some nuance with my nitros, please. Anyway, at the end of the day, the story really just serves as neon-tinted window dressing for a bunch of races that earn you money to buy cars and upgrades, blah blah blah. You're king of the road. Well done. The career is laid out in a pretty standard open-world racing format. Drive to points on the map to initiate either a sprint, circuit, or drag race, or explore the map for paint job collectibles while smashing billboards or fanging it through speed traps. It's nothing the Forza Horizon series hasn't been doing longer and arguably better, especially when you put the map under a microscope. The slick streets of this humid, storm-swept city do look sexy AF, but just like its real-world counterpart, the urban strip only really makes up a small part of the state. The remainder is just bland hillsides and pretty lifeless industrial areas. Of course, it all looks wildly better when the sun goes down, which plays into the game's most interesting feature, a day-night mode that changes up your racing goals depending on whether you head out under the bright, harsh light of day or under the moody, shiny glow of streetlights. Regular races during the day will earn you money or bank to spend on cars, upgrades, and outfits, whereas nighttime races will earn you rep, which allows you to level up and unlock rides that you'll then want to save up for. Spreading out the two currencies across the clock is in itself a pretty neat idea. But it's when the boys and girls in blue turn up that this mechanic really comes into its own. While cruising during the day, you might stumble across the occasional patrol car who'll probably ignore you regardless of how obnoxious your paint job is. However, under the cover of night, the Palm City PD become relentless in their pursuit to wipe you off the road. Both during races and in free roam, police will aggressively give chase, attempting to box you in or wreck your ride completely, resulting in you having to call it a night.
You take on the task force, you're always gonna lose.
The interesting twist, however, is that should you manage to lose the fuzz and make it back to a garage in one piece, you'll keep all your rep and multiply it by the level of heat you had while on the run.
Not a bad night's work.
And considering rep is also what progresses the story forward, you're essentially being encouraged to actively look for trouble between races. Yet, while the pursuits are thrilling, they never really match up to the high-speed rollercoaster rides from Hot Pursuit, especially thanks to some rather erratic AI behaviour and a map that promotes blazing it in a straight line instead of pulling off stylish getaways. Opponents in regular races also thrash about with equal abandon, but never really put up a real challenge outside of the occasional breakaway driver.
Don't think I'm gonna let you by.
And without difficulty modifiers to boost your earnings, combined with the series' arcade physics, races can quickly feel like more of a chore compared to the wild late-night destruction derbies.
I'm at rabbit speed. Throw space to them.
Still, by breaking the disciplines into two modes and adding an element of risk versus reward, Need for Speed Heat manages to at least bring something new to the rather laughable genre of street races.
It's been up 5 minutes, and we already got hundreds of views.
And if nothing else, it serves as a nice way to break up the routine of the game, racing sensibly for cold hard cash during the day, before letting off some steam at night by leading the cops on a wild goose chase.
Check it out, cuida que esto aquí se puso delicado. Son batas con el sabor latino y el negrito apache con el tumbao. Desde la comunidad para todas las clases de la ciudad, pa' que te lo vaciles como pa' que eche todo lo malo para allá.